For decades, we've looked to space telescopes like Hubble Space Telescope, James Webb Space Telescope, and Chandra X-ray Observatory to reveal the universe with clarity that Earth could never offer. But now, something unexpected has happened. A telescope still anchored to the ground, still breathing Earth's atmosphere, has delivered images so vast, so detailed, and so shockingly deep that astronomers around the world paused in disbelief. Because for the first time, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory has opened its eyes. And what it saw on its first night isn't just beautiful, it's overwhelming. A sky so crowded, so dynamic, so alive with motion that it challenges how we've ever mapped the universe. A camera the size of a small car capturing 3.2 billion pixels in a single shot. One exposure wide enough to hold dozens of full moons. A data stream so massive it will take decades to fully understand. And yet, even the very first images are already whispering secrets. Merging galaxies twisting together, newborn stars igniting in distant clouds, ancient clusters scattered like fossils of cosmic history, and thousands of asteroids appearing almost effortlessly. This is the moment astronomers have been waiting for, a machine powerful enough not just to observe the sky, but to watch it change. To catch cosmic events as they happen. To reveal structures we didn't even know existed. Perched high in Chile's Atacama Desert, one of the driest and darkest places on Earth, the Rubin Observatory was never meant to take ordinary pictures. It was built to scan everything, again and again, turning the night sky into a living timeline. At its core is the Simonyi Survey Telescope, an 8.4-meter giant paired with the largest digital camera ever constructed. Together, they don't just capture images, they build a continuously updating map of the universe. When its first observations began in 2025, expectations were high. But what came back went beyond anything imagined. In just hours, Rubin produced a massive mosaic of the Virgo cluster region, millions of galaxies packed into a single view. Not isolated objects, but a web of structure, filaments stretching across space, galaxies interacting, clusters forming patterns that hint at the hidden influence of dark matter. And that image? It represents only a tiny fraction of what Rubin will eventually see. Over the next decade, it is expected to catalog tens of billions of galaxies, creating a dataset unlike anything humanity has ever possessed. Then came another revelation, a wide-field view of the Lagoon Nebula. Not a close-up like we're used to, but a sweeping cosmic landscape. The nebula itself became just one feature in a much larger environment filled with star clusters, glowing gas, and distant structures layered across space and time. For the first time, we weren't just looking at an object, we were seeing its neighborhood. But Rubin isn't just about breathtaking imagery. In its early tests alone, it identified thousands of new asteroids, including several near-Earth objects. What used to take weeks can now happen in hours. In the coming years, it may detect millions, becoming one of humanity's most powerful tools for planetary defense. At the same time, it will map dark matter by tracking how galaxies cluster, monitor cosmic explosions like supernovae in real time, and chart the outer structure of the Milky Way using ancient variable stars. Behind all of this lies an unimaginable flood of information, petabytes upon petabytes, processed by systems designed to turn raw observations into a constantly evolving model of the universe. What makes this even more remarkable is that it's happening from the ground. For decades, Earth's atmosphere was seen as a barrier to clarity. But Rubin, with its advanced optics and perfect location, is pushing past those limits. It proves that ground-based telescopes can now stand alongside space observatories, not as replacements, but as partners. And perhaps its most revolutionary feature isn't what it sees, but how it sees. Every few nights, it scans the entire southern sky again. That means the universe is no longer static. It becomes a story unfolding in real time, a supernova appearing out of nowhere, a distant object drifting between stars, a subtle flicker revealing hidden physics. This transforms astronomy from observation into surveillance. The sky is no longer something we occasionally check. It's something we continuously watch. And as Voyager 1 continues its journey deeper into interstellar space, the story becomes less about a single anomaly and more about what it truly means to operate at the edge of the unknown. Because out there, nothing behaves exactly the way we expect. The region beyond the heliosphere isn't empty, it's a shifting environment of charged particles, magnetic fields, and subtle pressures that can influence a spacecraft in ways that are incredibly difficult to predict. Instruments pick up fluctuations that don't always fit clean models. Signals weaken, distort, and sometimes arrive in patterns that seem almost intentional, simply because we're not used to interpreting data from such an alien environment. And then there's time itself. When engineers communicate with Voyager, they aren't having a conversation. They're sending instructions into the dark and waiting nearly a full day to see the result. Every adjustment is delayed. Every response is a snapshot from the past. By the time something unusual is noticed, it has already happened. By the time it's understood, it's long over. That delay creates a strange illusion that the spacecraft is acting on its own. But in reality, what we're seeing is a complex interaction between aging hardware, extreme distance, and an environment we've barely explored. Small faults cascade into confusing symptoms. Corrupted memory looks like encoded patterns. Plasma interactions sound like tones. Orientation shifts feel mysterious when you can't observe them in real time. And yet, even within that grounded explanation, something deeper remains. Voyager 1 is no longer just a machine under control. It has reached a point where direct intervention is limited, where autonomy isn't programmed, but effectively emerges. Not because it's thinking, but because it's beyond immediate reach. It exists in a space where human control becomes slower, weaker, more indirect. In a way, it has already crossed a boundary, not just physically but conceptually. It's the first object we've ever sent that truly operates outside our immediate influence, in a region where the rules are still being discovered. And that alone can make every anomaly feel profound. Because each unexpected signal raises a quiet question. Is this just physics we don't fully understand yet, or the first hint of something we've never encountered before? So far, every confirmed answer points back to natural causes, hardware degradation, cosmic radiation, interstellar plasma. No verified evidence of external intelligence. No confirmed response from the void. But the absence of evidence isn't the same as the absence of mystery. Because Voyager is still moving. Still transmitting. Still pushing further into a region no human-made object has ever explored. And with every kilometer it travels, it carries our curiosity with it. Not as a signal waiting for a reply,